Hi, this is Chad Griffith, and this video is meant to help my students with the pre-writing process of their current research projects. This is for an information-based or informational research project, research paper, and it doesn't specify anything having to do with a thesis or argument at this point. The pre-writing process looks, of course, at task, purpose, and audience, with which the students should be pretty familiar. Alright, the standards. Please take the time to look at the standards that are covered by this exercise. Part 1. Alright, there is a two-part pre-writing exercise. Let's take a quick look at it. Here is a series of 8 questions. Answer the questions on a piece of paper. The questions all deal with you as an individual. Once you have the answers to those questions, as the samples here on the left would indicate, then you can think through possible research topics related to your interests or projected future. So if you are thinking, for example, about a college major in nursing, then you might look at technologies that currently impact or have impacted nursing. Something to that effect. So that was the first exercise. That would then be checked by your teacher, looked at and discussed with peers. And we would move on and look at a list of suggestions. The list of suggestions is basically a big spreadsheet. Some of them were my ideas, some were from various places on the internet, some were from other students. But looking through those can help each of you to solidify what you might want for this research topic. The idea, after doing both of those, is to narrow your choices to no more than 3. Keeping in mind 2 things. Even though this is a research project that is information-based at this point, that you are just exposing or informing your audience, you will have to switch it at some point and create an argument somehow tied to the information that you presented in this first paper. And there is a good chance that, time permitting, you will also present your findings after that second paper. So keep those in mind as you're choosing your topics. Ultimately, you need to get that topic approved by me before you move on and actually start any research. I'll track all of those in a spreadsheet. And that is part 2, getting the topic approved. That's pretty easy. You just run them by me. I may tell you how to narrow it down or how to broaden the topic as we progress. Which brings us to part 3. All right, part 3 starts the actual pre-writing. So choosing a topic is certainly an important part of pre-writing, but as we begin our research, you may actually start to put pen to paper in tracking some of this. So, the Research Resource Rubric. You can click on that and look at it. It is basically these 4 points, but in more detail. So let's look at the 4 points down here that are called the 4 R's. They should help you to decide about each of the individual sites, papers, books, magazines that you're using. Ask yourself about each one. Is it relevant? Is this article, is this web page, is this journal relevant? Is it about your topic? Now, that's not to say you can't use one that's about something else but gives good information about your topic. But if you're only going to have 5 resources, you should make them as relevant as possible. Is the resource reliable? Is it trustworthy? Is it from a very well-known magazine that is considered reliable? And by reliable here, I don't mean People magazine, I mean more National Geographic magazine. Is it from an academic journal? Academic journals are normally peer-reviewed. They are published findings from research done by experts in the particular field that you're looking into. What it should not be is a random person's webpage, a wiki where just anyone can put information up there. That's not to say you can't look at some of those, because you might find some great information, but you can't cite those. You can use those to help you find better resources. Many times, people writing on a wiki or on a blog or on their personal webpage will cite where they get information, and you can follow those to quality resources. Is the source that you want to use recent enough? Especially if you're dealing with something in the sciences, then you need to make for sure that it's recent enough. How recent does it need to be? Well, that depends on your particular topic. So if you're questioning that at all, just get with me and I'll help you to decide. Is it representative? Is the article that you're looking at, is the page that you're looking at very one-sided, especially if it's something that deals with an argument? If it is, then make sure you're balancing it with information from the other side. When we're looking specifically for just information, that information still creates an argument if you're only showing one side. And if that doesn't make sense to you, again, get with me and I will help you one-on-one to understand it better. Alright, that gives us the pre-writing process down through starting to gather resources. There is a separate video on how to use our actual online process for gathering those resources, and you can find a link to it right here under number 3. That's going to conclude this part of our videos, basically getting us from picking a topic through starting to gather some resources. Make sure you watch the video that guides you in more detail through the gathering of resources, and we'll continue with the next video starting our annotated bibliography. Thank you.